welcome to today's video. In this video, I wanted to talk about why I stopped using Etsy, seeing as they've added a new thing about free shipping, which is ridiculous. I get a lot of questions asking what I use or why I stopped using Etsy. And I started Etsy in, I think it was like 2014, and it was great. You just had to pay, it was 20 cents for the listing, that's still the same, and it was a 3% fee of your sale price, and that was it. So it was really good for small artists and businesses to open a shop and not have to fork out any sort of money, so it's a good starting point. You also had the traffic from the browsers that just browse through Etsy and stumble across things. So that was really great. I was on Etsy for about 5 years or so, 5 or 6 years. And then the new CEO took over, and I knew that would mean bad things. So in that 5 years I had built a little bit of a following, so that kind of worked in my favor. So I made the decision to close the shop and move over to an e-commerce store, which is just my own store. I had a look at a whole lot of different things. I had a look at Shopify, I had a look at Squarespace, Wix and Weebly. I didn't like Weebly at all, so that was scrap that. Shopify was good, but the fees were just a little bit too too much for me, and I wanted a little bit more control over things, and so it was either between Squarespace and Wix. So Squarespace was a little bit more expensive than Wix at the time, only by like a tiny bit, and Wix was offering like a startup deal. So that was about 2 years ago. I decided to open my own e-commerce shop, and you know, there's pros and cons of doing both. If you're just starting out, it's probably best to actually try Etsy and try and build a bit of a following, and that way, I know it's expensive, but you don't have to outlay the fees like you do with the e-commerce shop. But back to the point, the reason why I stopped using Etsy is because they started introducing a whole lot of different fees and hidden fees and increasing things, and we saw this happen with eBay, where they started increasing their fees and now it's 10% of the whole cost, and no one uses eBay anymore. It's kind of dead. It's no good. They ruined it. And I feel like Etsy's going the same way. So recently they just introduced the whole free shipping drama, which is absolutely ridiculous. So they're trying to force sellers to sell with free shipping or offer free shipping, and to US customers basically, so screw the rest of the world. It's you know, obviously their focus is on US market, so that's that, whatever. Everyone else can go jump. So they're basically asking sellers to incorporate the cost into the price, and the problem with that is, for someone like me, I live in Australia and shipping varies a lot with my pieces, especially my dolls. They vary a lot to where they go in shipping price. So if I ship a doll to the US, it might cost, you know, depending on the size, it can cost between $30 and $60, over $60 to send it, and that's just a standard with tracking. And then to the UK it's even more, and to other countries it can be even more, up to like $80, $90, $100, depending on where it goes. So like, what am I supposed to do? Charge everybody a flat rate of $100 just in case someone buys it from a region that it costs $100 to send? You know, it's just a bit unfair. And given the weight as well, like, it varies a lot with the weight, and it's just a bit silly in my opinion, and they're punishing people that can't offer free shipping by moving their listings to the back of the search. So your listings will basically not get seen unless you offer free shipping. So it's kind of a money-making grab to me. I understand that, you know, when people see free shipping, they go, "Ooh, that's pretty good." But when you're adding $100 just in case onto the listing price, it makes it seem really ridiculous. So, you know, that means my listing price will be like $600-700. Nobody's going to want to pay that. But if they go to the shipping and they find that shipping is $30, hey, that's great. So I think that's really just really money making scheme, to be honest. They also increase their fees, and to me it's just heading in the direction of eBay. So first they started charging the fee, the 3% fee, with combined listing and postage, which is ridiculous. It's postage, you're not making any money off the postage, so why would you get charged for that, or whatever. And then there's like hidden fees. Like, I understand there's a VAT fee for Europeans, which I understand it's part of Europe. There's nothing you can really do about it, but I'm not fully understanding of VAT fees, but I know a lot of people have complained about it being a shock about the fee that they get. And also now it is at 5% transaction fee, which is inclusive of the shipping, so that's even more again. And then you have to pay a processing fee of 3 to 4%, and plus 25 cents. What? Why? That was never a thing when I was on there, which is ridiculous to have to pay that. So all up, it's almost 10%. It's almost 10%. So it's pretty much eBay now, or Amazon or whatever. They also, when the CEO first took over, they also started like allowing things that weren't a crafty sort of things. So Etsy was always like a artist sort of marketplace, but now it's moved to put whatever you want on there. And I remember when they changed this, they sort of lumped my work in with toys, and they're not toys. So I know a lot of artists that were selling on Etsy's were a bit pissed off about that as well, because they're lumping things in with toys and not artwork or dolls or something. So that was kind of, I think it's resolved now. I haven't used Etsy to list a doll in a long time, so yeah, so I just, it's going downhill, and I know a lot of people are pissed off, but look, it's a good starting place for when you're wanting to get traffic and when you want to get you know, your stuff out there. It's good for beginners, but I wouldn't be set in actually that being your shop, to be honest. It's just not viable, and it's only going to get worse, in my opinion. So I would look at trying to get a following using social media like Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, to sort of advertise your work, and that way you can get some more of a following on there as well. And yeah, look into what sort of online shop would suit you better. Like I said, for me, I found that the e-commerce shop was better for me. There's some things that I don't know too much about how Squarespace works, but I think it's pretty much the same as Wix. I know that Wix has some things that they need to improve on, like revenue stats. They absolutely need to improve on that. That's one thing that majorly lets it down, in my opinion. I'm not too sure what Squarespace provides in terms of revenue, but what Wix sort of doesn't have any filters, so that just have a lump sum of what your shop has earned, so you can't filter it out properly by by month or year or day even, so they really need to improve on that. They have somewhat of a filter in one of the sections, but it's not good enough, basically. But that's no big deal. I mean, if you don't sell a lot of things, you can just, you know, jot it down if it's a concern to you, or if you need to. Another thing is sometimes their contact forms, like their messaging service, is a little bit odd. So I've had a lot of people send me emails and then me not receive it. So I don't know why. They need to improve on that as well. But that's pretty much all the gripes that I have with Wix. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good service, and you can customize it any way you want. It's not sponsored, by the way. But yeah, I'm just, from my point of view, sometimes it's worth going with an e-commerce shop. Just check out what kind of deals they have as well, because sometimes they have like a 50% off when you sign up or something with the e-commerce shops. But yeah, I mean, it's really much of a muchness, and it's really what you prefer. But I know a lot of people are getting very annoyed at Etsy with their greediness, which is very unfortunate because it was such a good platform. It's a real shame, to be honest. But yeah, if you have any questions about anything really, Etsy, Wix, e-commerce, whatever, just let me know in the comments. I can probably answer them. So I hope it kind of covered why I stopped. If I didn't, sorry. What else? So I think that's pretty much it. So I hope that helped. If you want any more tips, you can probably check me out on my Patreon. I'm posting a whole lot of different things on there that will help you if you're interested. It's at Creatures of Nat. And that's pretty much it. You can also check me out on Instagram and Facebook at Creatures of Nat. And probably catch you in the next one. Bye.